Hi everyone, and welcome back to another one of these reaction videos. Today we're doing my Serie A predictions for last year. Again, there's going to probably be some teams that were wrongly named that were in this list, and if I mess them up, I'll correct it obviously as we go. So like Empoli, I think Empoli's there, that they were not in the Serie A, same with Spezia. So I'll try to figure out where I predicted the teams that were supposed to be there. And anyway, let's get right into it. I already know that I don't already know, but I'm pretty confident these takes were even worse than last year, and last year's was bad. So let's go. Let's see how this goes. I don't know enough about them, but I think Pisa, if that's how you say it, that might be wrong. I think they're a lock to get relegated. I was actually right. Wow, so good start. Hopefully that continues. But Pisa, yeah, they went down at 20th. I have a table on the side here if you're wondering why I'm looking to the side. But yeah, Pisa went down at 20th, so good prediction, good start. I might even just say 20th in general. Like, they're not, haven't heard of them, and they just seem like another team that got promoted just to go back down, unfortunately. But maybe I'll be wrong like Como, even though I think it's a different situation, but you know what I mean. Like, somehow they pull it out of the bag. Okay, now this gets tough. Spezia used to be in the league for a couple of years. They're not too bad if I remember. But they're kind of old. Udinese, they sold Luca. I don't know if they've had done any good business, but probably. Verona is barely scraping by nowadays. Sassuolo could just be up to go down. Okay, and Empoli, that's supposed to be Cremonese, or how you say it. So the badge will be Empoli. I was just double checking because last year I made a mistake like that. Yep. I think Sassuolo get 11th. For Empoli again, which is kind of weird. But yeah, Empoli is Cremonese, so they're a lock to get relegated. I'm sorry. Them and Pisa both. And then who do I think will be the last team? Okay, so I'm gonna take back anything I said about Spezia. It's so Spezia is wrong too. That's Lecce. So pretend Spezia's badge means Lecce. I guess I don't know. So Sassuolo or Lecce to go down, or Verona. Those are like the three. Would have been right if I said Verona. Ones to pick from. Genoa maybe, but I feel like they're too good to get into the mess of relegation. Maybe in the battle, but they'd probably be more comfortable. Oh, and then there's Parma too. They lost a few key players, but they have a new coach too. I don't know. This one's kind of a toss-up this year. I didn't even think about Parma. And Cagliari too. Like, I don't know. There's a few ones here, now that I think about it. I think it'll be Lecce to go down, but this could bite me because they were decent last year. Yeah, they barely stayed up, so, I mean, technically it's not great because they did stay up, but I was pretty close, like one or two positions off, and Verona was the team that went down, but I was right about Cremonese. They went down just in 18th instead of 19th, so not bad, actually. Got a decent start. 2 out of the 3. Or don't prove me wrong in general, whatever. So, yeah, I'm going to say Lecce, Cremonese, and Pisa are the ones to go down. The ones fighting relegation, I'd say Cagliari. That's probably a lock. Or Sassuolo as well. Then they're going to be fighting for their lives to stay up, I would. Oh, they got like 11th, and they were in 8th most of the year. That's bad for Sassuolo. Cagliari, I probably said that. I always say that team name wrong. But, they were 14th. So that's not great for both of those. At least both of them were in, like, European spots. But, yeah, that's just not great. Yes. Kone's a good signing, though. Shout out the Canadian. Since I'm Canadian, I have to do it. Shout out Kone. He should hopefully cook. I mean, the meme is in here. But he got a red card on Luca or whatever on the first match day. He was actually really good for Sassuolo. Hoping he stays healthy, he should start for Canada at the World Cup and do well. Who do I think will be in the mid-table range? Just mid. Maybe it's slightly in relegation battle. Parma? I forgot about Verona, man. Like, there's so many bad teams. Okay, so let's see Parma at 14th. We're going to move Verona to 15th. I don't even... Another bad one. Verona went down to 18th, bro. What are we doing? That was bad. Verona was like really bad on paper. I just didn't look at their roster probably. That was probably... It was pretty obvious. Like I should have figured, but oh well. Next time, study the roster before just predicting because of the names. I don't know if I like that. Verona's so bad last year. Like, they beat Napoli on the first match day because they had no starting striker. Probably Genoa or Udinese. Oh, and I guess for Parma, that's actually not bad. 1 place off, assuming I don't reshuffle it. I'm going to say Udinese, but I could very well be wrong. Again, not bad, like 3-4 spots off, but they're not in Europe or anything, so it's fine. Always find good signings somehow, I feel like. Even if they're like 2 million, they find a way to score a lot of goals and stuff, so. Genoa, they're like the higher end of mid teams. They're not going to be pushing for Europe, I think. Torino, 11th. Last year, I had them dead on, so I think they'll stay around there. Maybe this will be the year they start pushing for Europe, but they didn't even sign Elmas permanently, and I don't know. They signed Dingdonge and Simeone from Napoli, so. I was around right again, 1 spot off. They were like near relegation, but I think at some point, but they got up out of it, so good for them. Thanks for taking our dead weight. That might age well. That might age poorly. Genoa was off. They should have been at 16th. That was another one that's not great, but there's definitely worse coming. Just end up thriving there. In fact, Fiorentina's there. In fact, Fiorentina's not there yet. Is not good. They could push higher above their weight, but I just don't see. Brother, Como got like what? They got 4th, man. What are we doing? Underestimating them 2 years in a row, by the way. I believe the same fate for Como. Relegation battle. I don't think it's going to be they're competing for Europe. But we'll see. Yeah, like just that's bad. I don't know how to defend that. Like, I guess I could have seen them, like, not being so quick to get Champions League ball, but, like, come on. They're a really good team, so I don't know why I was doubting them so much. That's bad. Okay, this might be a hot take, or, like, an easy take, because Juric took over, but Atalanta does not move me anymore. Their squad is good, so I might not put them 9th. I'm going to say Lazio get 9th. Their squad doesn't move me. They hired Sarri back. Hold on. He cooked. That's perfect. 9? Yeah, wow. I am happy with that one. That one was harder to predict because Lazio's either really good or really, like, mediocre. So, I got the really mediocre correct. Sorry, Lazio fans, if there's any watching this. It wasn't a shot at you. I was more just saying I'm surprised I got it right. I'll put them UEL. I'm going to put Fiorentina. Okay, I cooked then. But then the Fiorentina thing is bad. Okay, let's listen a little more. But I was happy about Atalanta, then I see the Fiorentina icon come up. And UCL, because they've been doing that for the last few years. I think Fiorentina, if I'm being honest, could do it, but just basing it off of logic and squad depth, I'm going to have to go with Atalanta. If they do anything lower than Europa League, it's a disaster for them. Like, especially. Like, that's pretty bad. So, we're going to say Atalanta 7th, Fiorentina 8th. I'm going to say Bologna 6th. Actually, Bologna might... Well, I didn't really address the Fiorentina thing unless I missed it, so I'll address it now. But, yeah, that was really bad. They obviously had that shocker. No one would have predicted 15th. I was thinking they might push for, like, a higher Europe spot. Clearly not. So, yeah, I don't know. Bologna, I overrated again. I guess I'm about to talk about that. But for the main part, that Fiorentina one's really bad. And then Bologna should have been around 8th again. I'm banking on a lot of teams being washed and not very good for them to be up that high. But with how things usually turn out, they're probably going to end up 10th, and I'll look really dumb for putting them up high at 6th. Not as bad when it's 8th, but yeah, not wrong about that. But anyway, my logic is that a lot of teams are going to be taken down a level because of the manager go around and... Yeah, Napoli's a victim about that, by the way. I might do a separate video on that whole thing. There's like a lot going on with the World Cup too. I want to do a video, so we'll see if I get around to Allegri. Don't even get me started, man. Anyway, to just stay on topic and not get mad, let's just continue the video. The other factors like players leaving and getting older and stuff. The top 5, okay. I'll go Milan 5th. They have 1 game a week, so they definitely could get higher. But I don't think... Assuming I don't switch it, that was another great thing. It came to on the last match day, but W prediction. Far down. Roma, I did this last year. I'm going to bank on them again. I hope that doesn't backfire. I think they have Gasparini should be good enough to get them competitive. I don't know if they win it, but they'll definitely be competitive. So I'm going to put Roma 4th. Not bad. I think... I want to put them 2nd again, but I'm scared from last year, so... Their squad's vastly improved, and they have a way better manager than they started with. Like, this is a really weak year. It's even worse than last year. I think Inter get third.
They, like, walked away with the league, bro. That's a bad one. Yeah, I was really rating that Conte would either, like, really get some good form if he moved out of Champions League, which didn't really happen, outside of, like, one good patch, which was funny because everyone was hurt and we were winning games. Players came back and we did worse, I think. Anyway, it's not all about Napoli. That prediction was way wrong. Inter should have been at least second, if not first, so that's just bad.
Coach doesn't move me. Even if he finds a way to be good, it'll take a while. They'll have to get some chemistry.
Pretty sure he like ran off with the league starting. Like I'll have to look, but maybe even if he had the first 5 games were bad, then he started rolling. Like it didn't take that long. So nonsense.
And figure out their squad and everything. They have the new good signing at striker with Bonnie, I think his name is. But
yeah, he did good for them actually.
Players getting older, and they didn't get Lookman unless that changes because the window's still open. Yeah, I just think they're.
Yeah, well, they should have, buddy.
If they fire their coach, or if he finds a way to steady the ship for them to get UCL, I don't think they might get somewhat far in the UCL. Even then, he doesn't have experience. I don't think so. I think they'll just.
Of course, the one thing I gave them like benefit for that didn't even happen. They lost to what was it? The team Bodo Glimt. Like respect to them, but like Inter should never lose to them. I'm sorry.
Kind of for their standards, mid. Like just get UCL. Anything lower than UCL, then they're cooked. Like they need it for their financial situation and other reasons too, just for their club status. So for that reason, they put them third. I don't know if I want to bank on Napoli to win, man. It'll probably age so badly.
They didn't even get Champions League, man. Like I'm not gonna even hear it myself speak. Why did I put them second? I don't even think there was a logical reason. Tudor was the coach to start the year. Anyway, we'll hear it now, but like. Oh man, that's bad.
Juventus, I'd say second. Tudor should hopefully get the ship settled.
Yeah, okay, I already heard enough. Let's keep going though.
They'll be competitive at all fronts.
They'll be competitive. I mean, I guess they kind of were in the like middle to third quarter part of the year, but at the end they just completely fell off with Spalletti.
I don't think they win anything. Maybe Coppa Italia, but he should steady it, and then next year I'm assuming they'd have to get a new coach unless somehow he finds a way to win the whole thing. Basically, it's like last year. I think 2 below is a different tier than what the actual first was, which didn't turn out to be true. It was a battle to the last match day. But if I'm going on paper in my mind, I think, this is also bias speaking, Juventus has a good squad, but coach and squad considered, Napoli are levels above.
Levels above who? For what?
I think the other team.
Inter cleared us by like 11 points, and there was like, it wasn't even close, man. What are we doing? And Napoli dropped points to like the bottom half of the table, I think, a crazy amount of times. I don't know if I might put up a stat if I can find it in time. If not, you'll just have to trust me, I guess. Like, what are we talking about?
Milan have Allegri, which is a decent coach, but compared to the other standards, which are quite low. Well, I have to give it to Napoli. So, the reason I think...
Yeah, I don't know I can't defend that. That was pretty bad. I guess I really thought Conte would either, like I was kind of mentioning, he would do well in one competition, whether that was UCL, which obviously didn't happen, didn't even make it past the league stage. Like, what are we doing? And then, in the league, he just struggled this year. With, I guess, KDB was injured, Anguissa kind of got hurt and was bad towards the end. A few things happened. Like I said, I might just do a Napoli video because a lot happened. A lot of drama, as always, and players leaving, players staying. Allegri. Anyway, sticking to it. Bad prediction having Napoli first.
Wow, lots of bias. But, I think with Conte staying, they do have multiple competitions. That's the one thing that scares me.
Okay, I was right about that then. Like I saved myself with that.
They might end up getting mid UEL or Europa League or even like Champions League. I think that could be a possibility with Conte at the helm, and they're giving him a lot of signings, like 3 or 4 per key position.
Well, they all were like terrible. So except for KDB, maybe he was like decent. Or Højlund actually was not bad. The one I said I didn't want, but Luka was so bad, man. And Lang, holy.
Position he wanted, like it's kind of or 2 or 3 maybe per position he wanted, which is kind of wild. He gets it done. If he doesn't, he'll probably, we can say this every year with Conte because he's the one who's known as a one competition one competition only. If he doesn't get sacked, it should be for the right reasons, like they should be doing well.
Well, he quit, so I'm not far off.
Whether it's in the league or the Champions League or both. They're finalizing Juan Luis Sanchez, I think that's how you say it. He sounds like a good prospect at right back.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
They have Gutierrez, who joining in September.
Gutierrez was like benched half the season because Conte is like a dinosaur who didn't want to play the young. He's not even that young. When players under 30, like, I don't know, man. It was actually quite something. Like I said, I'll save the rent for later.
The only problem is striker. That's where it gets bad if they don't figure out a false nine.
They did though, so it's fine.
Luka I like, but if he goes down and Lukaku's down, Luka I like.
Luka is there.
They don't have a striker. So if they don't sign one on loan or permanently by the end of this window, and they don't get one by winter at latest, they're in big trouble. Like, this is bad. They can't rely on one in 3 or 4 competition. Ideally, they sign one by the end of this window. Not Hoyland, though. Please, no Hoyland. Anything but Hoyland, basically. And Pinamonti, either. Neither of those guys, please. I'm going to stop giving my Napoli transfer advice and say Napoli, with the ideal conditions, should get first. Juventus will be somewhat...
Like, I'm being very clear. I kind of probably thought in the back of my mind, oh, Napoli might not win it back-to-back because of the 10th place a few years ago. Forbidden. We don't need to speak about that again. But yeah, let's just hear the rest out, I guess.
They should be competitive. I think Napoli will run with it by the end of the year.
No. Oh my goodness. Holy, he didn't need to say that. That's bad, man. That is so bad. Okay. I didn't realize. Hopefully my audio wasn't peaking that whole video. My apologies if it was. I'll try to fix it. Anyway, let's hear out the last bit, but pretty confident that most of it wasn't great. Some of it was really spot on, and the rest is like, a couple spots off. Anyway, guys, I guess for the outro, we'll just full screen this. So, I hope you all enjoyed this reaction. If you have any videos you want for the World Cup or anything, or Napoli related, like the Allegri appointment, comment down below. But anyways, it was a decent season overall. I don't want to hate too much on Conte. I am happy he left with no issues or drama. Actually, no, it wasn't a great year for the league, to be honest, because Inter kind of ran away with it, and they didn't beat any of the big teams. It's not biased. I just think if you're not going to beat any of the big teams, it's kind of crazy you can win the league. That's everybody else's fault. It's not really Inter's fault. So if Napoli can hopefully sell some of their terrible loan players who keep coming back, like Folarinho, Lindstrom, I don't know. There's so many of them, man. Like, if they can't get sold, I don't know. They might stay. Like, Luka might stay, apparently. Like, he didn't even play for Nottingham. Anyway. And I'll speak to you guys next time. See you for the next predictions. Bye for now.